Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Global Risk Intelligence briefing from all of us here at Risk International. I'm Roman Fisher, Protective Intelligence Analyst, and I'm joined by Ross Hill, Director of Intelligence. Getting started today. Last week, in its annual crime report, the FBI had stated that 7,262 hate crime incidents occurred in the U.S. last year. This compared to 8,263 reported in 2020. However, the numbers are likely misleading. The FBI has caveated their report, noting that approximately 4,000 law enforcement agencies, including several of the nation's largest police departments, had failed to transition to the FBI's revised National Incident-Based Reporting System, or NIBRS. Overall, hate crime statistics are not decreasing, and most of the agencies that did report to the FBI are showing an increase in hate crimes. Many police agencies have been slow to implement the newer NIBRS reporting mechanism. Only 11,834 of the nation's more than 18,000 law enforcement agencies submitted data to the system last year. The decrease represents a participation rate of 65%, which is down from 93% under the old system. The Justice Department has reportedly made fighting hate crime a priority and has charged more than 60 people with federal hate crimes. The Associate Attorney General, Vanita Gupta, has recently been quoted saying that the Justice Department continues to work with the nation's law enforcement agencies in efforts to increase the reporting of hate crimes to the FBI and to ensure that the Justice Department has the data it needs to help accurately identify and prevent hate crimes. And now I will pass you off to Director of Intelligence here at Risk, Ross Hill. Ross?
Thanks, Raymond. So there's been a quite significant increase in the number of strikes in the United States this year, 39% increase compared to last year. They're occurring across multiple different sectors, so no one sector impacted particularly. Also seeing a high number of votes from employees to unionize. For example, more than 206 Starbucks stores employees have voted to join a union. Strikes were already increasing before the COVID-19 pandemic. So it's another trend where COVID has actually served as kind of an amplifier for an existing issue. Most of the strikes occurring over working conditions and pay. Expecting this to be a trend that continues into next year. We have inflation staying high, likely for several months. And we're also seeing increased interest rates. So we see a kind of double impact of an increase in the cost of living, as well as the increase in the cost of debt. So that's likely to hit household incomes eventually. And then we also have this perception of employee power. That's largely because of high employment rates and difficulty in filling job vacancies. So a lot of workers feeling much more confident in making demands of their employers. So definitely expect to see further strikes through next year. And then for our final one this week, China has experienced a significant increase in the number of COVID cases since it lifted its zero COVID policy earlier this month. The lifting of those policies was in response to widespread protests over COVID restrictions. China also reporting its first deaths, only a couple, but that number is believed to be underreported. And we've got some modeling by the US-based Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation indicating that there could be more than 1 million deaths in China over the next year or so. Chinese health officials expecting 3 waves of COVID through December and January. And then the peak in cases is actually anticipated to occur around April 2023. Going to see an increased pressure on China's healthcare system. So it'll be interesting to see whether they try and bring any COVID restrictions back in, although they'll likely try to avoid anything too stringent. But if we start to see high numbers of deaths, then that's definitely going to increase the pressure on the Chinese government to bring back some kind of COVID measures. One thing we are seeing is some things like factory and business shutdowns because of COVID infections, and that's going to have a knock-on effect on supply chain. That's it from us this week, and actually that's it from us for this year. We hope you have a happy holiday and a happy new year, and we hope to see you again soon.